And let's take a look at your Caribbean report for tonight.
Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Stephenson King, has fired his Attorney General, the first victim of a scandal that has shaken the credibility of the administration. The King cabinet has been heavily censored in 2 court judgments for allowing Health Minister Keith Monasor to use tax concessions on his private home. The Attorney General, Nicholas Frederick, has been widely ridiculed for his handling of this case. And 3 members of the Antigua-Barbuda Electoral Commission have been suspended pending their appearance next month before the investigation tribunal. The panel will examine the conduct leading up to the March 2009 general elections, which were affected by late starting of polls in some constituencies. The probe into the commission was set after the High Court judge nullified the election of Prime Minister Baldwin Spencer and 2 of his cabinet colleagues, a ruling which has been appealed. Chairman Sir Gerald Watt, Deputy Chairman Nathaniel James, and member Lionel Hurst received their letters of suspension on Friday from the Governor General. And newly released figures show that travel by Americans to the Caribbean is up for the first quarter of this year. The U.S. Office of Travel and Tourism Industry said that air travel to the Caribbean increased 2% in April, the last month reporting, and 5% over the year to date. That was well below the Middle East and African regions, which experienced strong growth. U.S. travel to Europe and Mexico and Central America went down as well. The Caribbean figures for Europe were less than encouraging, down 4.3% in the first half of the year, probably as a result of the flight interruptions from Iceland's volcanic ash. And finally, a former official at the U.S. State Department has been sentenced to life in prison for spying for Cuba. A judge in Washington said Walter Kendall Meyer has betrayed the U.S. and deserved a heavy punishment. Meyer's wife was given more than 6 years in jail for helping him steal secrets for Cuba over a period of 30 years. The couple pled guilty after they were arrested last year.
And that's a look at your Caribbean report for tonight. And the Norwegian Cruise Line has a new ship in its fleet. The latest vessel, called the Epic, is 1,080 feet in length and a draft of 29 feet of depth. The ship cruises at 22 knots and carries a double occupancy of 4,100 passengers. And this grand ship recently docked on St. Thomas at the Charlotte-Amalie Harbor for the first time. And on hand for the official Virgin Islands welcome and plaque ceremony was our man on St. Thomas, Lee Carl.
Well, we're aboard the Epic. It's Norwegian's latest cruise ship, and an obligatory plaque ceremony, the flag, and a number of items. And I got a chance to speak to a very, very colorful captain, Warren, here aboard the Epic at the West Indian Company dock.
Thank you, Klaus. Good afternoon. Captain Warren, Ms. Smith of Waiko, Mr. Gershwin Spau of Waiko, Mr. Winston Parker of the VI Taxi Association. Friends, good afternoon to everybody. It's my pleasure on behalf of Commissioner Beverly Nicholson Doty to be here to welcome the second largest ship to the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, Norwegian Epic. And I hope everyone enjoys their stay with us. And yes, Klaus, we have the best shopping in the Virgin Islands and St. Thomas. Hope you have a pleasant stay with us. And on behalf of the Department of Tourism, I would like to present you with this plaque. And it says, the United States Virgin Islands Department of Tourism warmly welcomes Norwegian Epic in celebration of her inaugural voyage to the West Indian Company Limited, U.S. Virgin Islands, Port of St. Thomas, July 14, 2010. Thank you. Thank you. Captain, on behalf of the Governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands and the people of the Virgin Islands, I would like to present you with a flag.
Thank you very much. I hope we have the flag up this morning, did we? Did you check? We did. We should have. Yeah.
And may all your sails be smooth ones, and don't sail without me.
Thank you. Thank you. We won't. Thank you.
We welcome you from the Taxi Association. By the way, my name is Winston Parker. We extend our warm welcome to you. We hope you keep coming back as often as you can. We would also like you bring a lot of people and give it to VI Taxi. Only VI Taxi. Give it all to us. But again, we welcome you to our shores, to St. Thomas, Virgin Island on this day, and we hope you enjoy the stay with us. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Salute you with a plaque. The West Indian Company Limited warmly welcomes Norwegian Epic in celebration of her inaugural voyage to the U.S. Virgin Islands, Port of St. Thomas, July 14, 2010. The welcome mat is always rolled out. Edward E. Thomas, President, CEO, West India Company.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you very much. Håkan Swearing, who is taking over when I'm leaving here. He is over here. Håkan, can you come over? And he will be the captain next time. So I'm taking a few days off, actually 10 weeks off, and he will be taking over. Maybe you would like to say some word to the...
Good afternoon. As Captain Warren already mentioned, it's a pleasure to be back in St. Thomas. I've been here with Dawn before. It's a great place. In St. Thomas, aboard the brand new Norwegian Line's Epic, one of the largest cruise ships, second largest cruise ship in the world, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Lee Carl. And Lee has much more on that tour aboard the Epic, and we'll bring that to you in the near future. When we come back from this break, we'll take a look at your Sports 411. Stay with us.